When you on a computer, the computer activates a software for you. The computer is a hardware, a machine, an electronic device. As soon as you press the button to on it, it will activate a software for you. If it doesn't activate the software for you, you cannot use the computer. So there are two types of software that the computer makes available to you before you can use the computer. The first one is called an operating system. The first one is called what? An operating system. It is the first software that the computer needs to activate. If there is no operating system on a machine, the machine cannot be used at all. All right, good morning. Okay, so today we'll be taking our first lesson, and our first lesson is on Introduction to Computers. Introduction to Computers. So I want to ask one or two questions before we start. First of all, what is a computer? Who can tell me what a computer is? Forget about what is in the book, just tell me what you know. What is a computer?
Today, computers are all around us. From desktop computers to smartphones, they are changing the way that we live our lives. But have you ever asked yourself, what exactly is a computer? A computer is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. The computer sees data as ones and zeros, but it knows how to combine them into more complex things, such as a photograph, a movie, a website, a game, and much more. Computers use a combination of hardware and software. Hardware is any physical part of the computer, which includes all of the internal components and also the external parts like the monitor and the keyboard. Software is any set of instructions that tells the hardware what to do, such as a web browser, media player, or word processor. Now, when most people say computer, they're talking about a personal computer. This can be a desktop computer or a laptop computer, which has basically the same capabilities, but in a more portable package. Personal computers come in two main styles, PC and Mac. PCs are the most common type. There are many different companies that make them, and they usually come with the Microsoft Windows operating system. Macs, or Macintosh computers, are all made by one company, Apple, and they come with the MacOS 10 operating system. Computers come in many other shapes and sizes. Mobile phones, tablets, game consoles, and even TVs have built-in computers, although they may not do everything a desktop or a laptop can. There's another type of computer that plays an important role in our lives: servers. A server serves information to other computers on a network. In fact, every time you use the internet, web servers deliver the web pages that you want to see to your computer. Servers are also used in many offices to store and share files. As you can see, there are many different types of computers out there, and they affect our lives in a variety of ways.
When it comes to IT, even though we use books to study, we don't answer questions from books, let's say. When you are asked a question, you are expected to answer the question from your understanding and your experience and what you have come to know. So when you are asked a question, what is Photoshop? You are not supposed to go and read what is in the book. No, tell us what you have understood about Photoshop. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's what it means. So when you're asked a question, you have to answer it that way. Excellent. So now let's move on to what is written in the book. It says, what is a computer? Please, I hope you are all following. What is a computer? A computer is a programmable electronic device that can take information as input, store it, and process it to make an output. This you need to get the understanding, and when you get the understanding, you realize that computers are amazing. This is an amazing technology that we have, and computers can do so much more than most devices you know. Let's continue. It says that it helps in solving problems quickly and what? Easily. It helps in solving problems quickly and easily. It is referred to as a programmable device because it uses programs or software to solve problems. A computer cannot do anything without a program. So computers uses programs to do what? To solve problems. Computers uses what? Programs. Now we are talking about computer technology, and we are talking about what this particular amazing device is. And we are saying that it's an electronic device that takes input and processes the input, store, and also provide an output. And this machine we are talking about, it helps us to solve problems quickly and easily. Do you believe computers help us solve problems quickly? Excellent. Now we are saying that for computers to work, computers require programs before they can work. A computer needs a program before it can work. Without a program, a computer cannot do anything. Without a program, a computer cannot do anything. That means computers only work with programs. And the simple question is, what in the world is a program?
So can we say like program is a command?
A command can be an input. Are you with me? Now, when we say program, we are simply talking about software. When I say software, do you understand it better? When we say program, it's the same as software. So a computer cannot do anything without a software. Does it make sense to you? The computer is a machine, it's an electronic device. It is a hardware. It is what? And it cannot do anything without a software. So my question is, what is a software? It's the same as what is a program. Instead of saying software, you can say program. Now, have you ever used a computer before? Okay. You've all used computers before. Listen to me. When you on a computer, the computer activates a software for you. The computer is a hardware, a machine, an electronic device. As soon as you press the button to on it, it will activate a software for you. If it doesn't activate the software for you, you cannot use the computer. So there are two types of software that the computer makes available to you before you can use the computer. The first one is called an operating system. The first one is called what? an operating system. It is the first software that a computer needs to activate. If there is no operating system on a machine, the machine cannot be used at all. When you on a computer without an operating system, you only see a black screen with some white text. Have you seen that before? When you on the computer for the first time, you see that thing. That is what will come, and when that thing shows, it means the computer is looking for the operating system. When the computer finds the operating system, then you see a logo on the screen. The operating system's logo will show, and the logo you've been seeing, what is the name of that operating system? You see some logo show on the screen. I don't know if you've seen it. When you are on the computer, after the black and white text, then some logo will show in the middle. Have you seen it? What's the name of that logo? Okay, please, have you seen this? Have you recognized this logo? Okay, this logo will show when you on your computer, after the black and white screen, then this will show. Anytime the computer shows this, what it means is that it has found the operating system. When the black and white screen is on, it is actually looking for the operating system. Let me tell you something. That black and white screen, you see, we call it a firmware. We call it what? We call it what? We call it what? Have you seen what's on the screen? We call it a firmware. When the firmware loads, the firmware will first of all find what we call a boot. What do you see? A boot what? A bootloader. When it finds the bootloader, then the bootloader will find the operating what? The bootloader will find the operating system. So when it finds the operating system, then control of the computer will be taken away from the firmware and given to the OS. OS stands for what? Operating system. Then this will take over and you see the logo. When you see the logo, it will continue booting, and when it's done, it will give you the user interface for you to enter your password. Please, have you seen anything like that before? You enter your password. If your password is correct, then it will take you to the desktop and you'll see your desktop. Please, do you recognize that? Excellent. Now, what the computer is actually showing you at that point is what we call the operating system. The operating system is the first program that sits directly on the hardware of the computer. For the computer to operate or do anything whatsoever, it needs the operating system. If your operating system is corrupt, forget about using your computer. You can't use it. If you don't have one, you can't even use the computer. The computer will just be a white elephant. Your computer may be okay, there's nothing wrong with the hardware, nothing whatsoever. But if there's no operating system, forget it. You can't use it. This is the most popular operating system in the world. Who knows the name of this operating system? Pardon? You have to recognize this. At least you've recognized it, but tell me the name. This is the most popular operating system in the world. I'll mention about 5 operating systems right now, but this is the number 1. This is what most people use. Almost 80% of the whole world, this is what we use. It's called what? Excellent. Did you hear that? What did she say? This is called Windows. Windows is an operating system. Windows is what? An operating system. So this is Windows. This is what needs to load before your computer can work. Without Windows or the operating system, your computer cannot function. Now, this Windows, the question is that the only operating system in the world? No. There are other operating systems. And when it comes to Windows, there are different versions of Windows. So you as a computer user, you have to know the version of Windows you are using. I'm using IT terms here. Please, are you following? There are several versions of Windows. You as a computer user, you have to know the version of Windows you are using. For you to understand what you are doing on your computer, the version of Windows you are using is important to help you know what you are doing and how to do it well. Right now, the lowest version that is used in 2021 is called Windows 7. Have you heard anything like Windows 7 before? Windows 7. Windows 7 is the lowest version of Windows available in 2021. After Windows 7, what's the next version in use? Windows 8. Have you used Windows 8 before? Maybe you do not know the difference. But when you are using Windows 7, you have to know that this is Windows 7. And if you are told that this is Windows 7, you realize that the experience is different. Windows 7 gives a different experience from Windows 8. After Windows 8, what is the next version available? Okay, no one should say Windows 9 because we don't have Windows 9. Please, I beg you. It's not because we have 7 and 8, so we have to have 9. We don't have Windows 9. Windows 9 was never made. What we are using is called Windows 10. Please, what I am using is Windows 10. What you are all using is Windows 10. If you want to check your Windows, on your desktop, you can just right click on this PC. Do you see this icon? Right click and go to Properties. When you go to the Properties, you are going to see the edition of your Windows. What do you see here? Windows 10 Pro. Are you getting me? This is a version of Windows you are using. Okay. One way you can also check is by using the command prompt. To use a command prompt, you press Windows R on your computer and you will type CMD, enter. Command prompt to open like this. And when it opens, you will type a command in the computer called system info. This is a command. You hit enter, then the command will run. When the command runs, it will give you information. So I just gave in an input, it did processing, and it's giving me output. So this output is telling me a whole lot of things. It's telling me a whole lot about my machine and a whole lot. But let's look at the OS side. Do you see something called OS? OS. Now OS name is what? Microsoft Windows what? That is what I'm using. The exact version is 10 point something something something. Forget about that for now. Now you need to know that it's Windows 10. If yours is Windows 7, this is where you see it. If yours is Windows 8, this is where you see it. We don't have Windows 9, but what is very interesting is that just about a month ago, the company that develops this OS, what's the name of the OS? The name of the OS is Windows. Are you getting me? The OS, who knows the company that makes it? Who knows the company that makes this OS? Please, who knows the company that makes Windows? Yes, Microsoft. Please, have you seen this? This is a company. This is not a software. Please, when they ask you mention one software, then you say Microsoft. Microsoft is not a software. Microsoft is a company that makes software. So when you say Microsoft, tell us the software you are referring to. Microsoft Word. Yes, it makes sense. You can't say Microsoft. Microsoft is a company. Microsoft Excel. It makes sense. It means you are referring to what? Excel. Excel is the software. Are you getting me? When they say Microsoft Windows, we know what we are talking about, but you can't just say Microsoft because Microsoft is a company. Which other tech company do you know of? Which other tech company do you know of? Have you seen this company? This is a company. Do you know it's a company? I'm using their machine right now. And it's so interesting that I'm using these two companies are rivals. Let me put it that way. Apple is like a rival to Microsoft when it comes to, now this is the full name of the company. If you want to mention the full name of the company, it's Microsoft what? Corporation. That's the full name of the company. For this company today is their full name, Apple Incorporated, Apple Inc. Have you seen it? Okay, good. Now the system model, this is a machine I'm using. I'm using MacBook Air 9 or MacBook Air 2020. It's from Apple. So this system info command, when we finish, I'll let all of you run the system info command, because when you are taking your test on Introduction to Computers, you'll be asked to enter the command system info. So remember how I did it. Please, are you here? The good news around that has been made available is that just about a month ago, Microsoft released the next version of Windows. Since July 2015, we've been using Windows 10. Windows 10 was released July 2015. When the school started, 2015 July, that was when they released Windows. Now, just June 24th, it's just about a month and a week or two, they released the next version of Windows called Windows 11. Please, have you heard? Most of you have heard. We have Windows 11. So right now, when you are listing the versions of Windows, you need to know that add Windows 11. So the Windows on your machine, you need to recognize it. We'll have a lesson dedicated to operating systems. When we get there, you will learn more about operating systems, and you will know how to differentiate between the operating systems and recognize the different versions of operating systems, especially Windows. Please, are you with me? So I've mentioned about 4 versions of Windows, and when I call you, tell me one. Loretta. I've mentioned about 4 versions of Windows. And I said I'm using one particular one now, but we've mentioned about 4. So when I mention your name, you tell me one of them. Yes, please. Windows 7. Now that you know Windows 7, you have to understand that Windows 7 is a software, or Windows 7 is an operating system. After what I'm saying, I'm going to tell you the levels of software. We have some software programs that are higher, in a higher level than others. I'm about to talk about that. But you've mentioned Windows 7. Your job right now is to try and it's like when you see Windows 7, you should be able to tell. You should try and identify Windows 7 when you see it. Without mistake, when you see Windows 7, you should be able to identify this is Windows 7. I get me? That's the next thing you have to do. Now, Windows 10 is what is on your machine. Maybe to you, this is how computers are. But that's not what it means. This is not how computers are. It's because of what you are using. You are using Windows 10, so this is how Windows 10 is. When you are using Windows 8, you realize that the experience is different. I get me, madam. Windows what? I mentioned it for you. Okay, Windows 8. We have Windows 8. So your job right now is to be able to identify Windows 8 and try and tell the difference between Windows 7. As a computer student, this is the first assignment. You should be able to know this is Windows 10 and I know the difference because I've used the two and I know how they work. Are you following? Madam Mary, Windows 11. Excellent. Excellent. So you've mentioned all the 4. Millicent, I'm going to give you one for you to tell me. Please on this Apple computer. Do you see he's about to on an Apple computer? The Apple computer is using a different operating system altogether. Okay, please, do you see what is happening? When it finds the operating system, you see their logo in the middle. Have you seen the logo? It means it has found the operating system. The firmware will load. I told you that firmware will load something called what? Bootloader. And the bootloader will find the what? The operating system. Now, the operating system that this machine has found is different from the ones we've been talking about. Your job is to know the name of that operating system as well, because this is the second best operating system in the world. Let me not say the second best operating system in the world. It is the second most popular operating system in the world. Since I minimize the window, whatever is showing, minimize it. This is not Windows, so if you don't know how to use this operating system, you can spend about 5 minutes without being able to minimize. You see where he's going? You are lost already because you've not used this operating system before. 1 minute already. You see? If it were to be Windows, like he has finished. If it were to be Windows, like by now, he has finished. Did you see how it behaved? Did you see how it behaved? This is a different operating system. Excellent. Let's clap for him. He's done well. This operating system is called MacOS. MacOS. It's called what? Let me type it on the screen for you to see. The first time we talked about Windows, Now we are talking about what? Let me put it this way. Have you seen it? MacOS. Mac. Who knows what Mac stands for? Tell me what Mac stands for. Who can tell me right now? Mac. Have you heard Mac before? You've been hearing Mac. What does Mac stand for? No idea? Have you heard this word before? Who can pronounce it? Okay, I don't want to hear any mistake. Who can pronounce it? Pardon? Okay, so it's Macintosh operating system. Macintosh. So whenever you hear Mac stands for Macintosh. Please, you don't have to know what it means. Remember it. It's Macintosh. That's how it is. That's how it's pronounced. That is what it is. It is Macintosh. So if you are an Apple user, the reason why I said Apple is a rival to Windows or to Microsoft is that Apple uses their own operating system on their own machines. You see, Microsoft is not known as a computer manufacturer. No, Microsoft is not a manufacturer. Today they manufacture certain things, but Microsoft is not known as a manufacturer. Microsoft is only known as a software developer. When you say a manufacturer, you are talking about a hardware manufacturer, someone who makes computers, or a company that makes computers. I get to me. Apple is known as a manufacturer. Apple makes machines. Now the machines they make, they put their own operating system on their own machines. Apart from Apple, let me say it that way, all other manufacturers, they work with Microsoft. So when they all manufacture their machines, they will install Microsoft's Windows on their machine. The reason why Microsoft Windows is known is that all manufacturers in the world work with Windows or with Microsoft. When they manufacture their machine, they will buy Windows and install on it before they sell the computer. So when you buy a Dell computer, don't expect Mac OS. You'll never find Mac OS on Dell or Toshiba or Acer or Samsung or Lenovo. The operating system you'll find is what? Is Windows. Microsoft is not an operating system. Microsoft is a company. When you are talking about their operating system, Microsoft's operating system, it is called Windows. It is better to say Windows than to struggle with it. If you say Microsoft Windows, it's the same thing. But when you say Windows, you are very specific. Hello? So what I said is that all the manufacturers out there, whenever they manufacture a computer, they buy Windows from Microsoft and install on it before they sell. Because a computer cannot be used without an operating system. If they don't put Windows on it, nobody can use their machine. Their machine is useless. When it comes to Apple, Apple does not work with Microsoft. Apple is a manufacturer, at the same time is a software developer. So Apple makes their own operating system, and the operating system is called, pardon? macOS. And I said Mac stands for what? Macintosh operating system. There's another, the third most popular operating system in the world is called, the third most popular operating system in the world is this. This operating system was not made by a company, it was made by an individual. You see, Windows was made by which company? Microsoft. Please follow this is the basics of IT. Basics. macOS was made by which company? Apple. Linux, I've even said it. I shouldn't have said it. Okay, it's called Linux. It's called what? Linux. That is how it is called anywhere in the world. That's how it is called. If you don't pronounce it as Linux, you have not pronounced it right. What's the name of the third most popular operating system in the world? Linux. Linux was made by an individual called Linus. Linus Torvalds. Linus made Linux. Are you with me? The fourth most popular operating system is a mobile operating system, please. All that we have talked about here, we call them desktop operating systems. Hello. Now I want to talk about mobile operating systems. The most popular mobile operating system in the world is called what? Hello. The most popular mobile operating system in the world is called Android. Is not a phone. Android is not a device. Android is an operating system. It is the operating system on several mobile smartphones, So this Android is an operating system. And Android was developed by which company? Do you know Google? That's why you need a Google account to use your Android. Later, when we go deep into operating systems, you realize that Android has a connection with Linux. Later, you understand that. But for now, let's keep it simple. Android was made by which company? Google. The second most popular mobile operating system is called iOS. Have you heard of iOS before? iOS was made by Apple. So if you check the list, Apple has macOS here. Apple also has what? iOS. So on their desktop and MacBooks or laptops, they run macOS. But on their mobile smartphones, they run what? Let me add another one that will give you more information. The third most popular mobile operating system is called what? Windows what? Have you ever seen a phone that is using Windows before? Please, have you seen a phone using Windows before? Who hasn't seen one before? A phone that has Windows on it. Okay, so we have Windows Mobile. The Windows Mobile is on smartphones. And if you have seen the Windows phones before, you see how the interface looks like. Please, are you with me? So Windows Mobile is the Windows version for smartphones. We don't talk about it that much, but it is also there. These programs you are seeing are the underlying programs that computers run to be able to do any other thing. Without these operating systems, no computerized device can perform any other function. I told you that there are levels of software, right? Now we'll talk about 2 levels of software. And these 2 levels, we simply call them 2 types of software. Are you getting me? These 2 levels, we simply call them what? Now, when we say 2 types of software, we don't mean examples of software. We are talking about the classifications. Different classes of software or different levels. So, you are going to hear things like types of software. The first type you will hear is what we call system what? System what? Now, every computer uses both. This is the first one. I'm here to tell you the second one. There is one type of software called system software. It is the most important software a computer needs before it can boot up and allow the end user to use the computer. Did you hear the word I used? Have you seen this word? This is an IT word. It's a technical term. End user means the computer user or the user of the software. End user is the computer user. So anytime you hear this word end user, who are we referring to? Who are we referring to? You. You are the end user. Now, computers have been made in a way that they need to resolve the problem with system software before the end user can do anything. That is why when you on your computer, you have to wait for the operating system to finish loading. When you see the Windows logo, you have to wait for it to finish. Then they will ask you to enter your password, right? When we saw the Mac logo, the Apple logo, we had to wait for it to finish what it's doing because it's booting up the operating system. The operating system is called a system software. And I'm about to explain the differences to you. The second type of software, before I give you the explanation, is called what? Application what? So when you are asked anywhere in any examination, what are the 2 types of software? You have to say system software and application software. Now you have to understand the difference. Let me give you the explanation of system software. Listen to me, please. Are you here? A system software is a software required by the system to function and to create a usable environment for the end user. Let me explain it in simple terms. They made 2 classes of software. The first type is not used by the end user. The first type of software is used by the computer itself, is needed by the system itself. That type of software is not a software that a user needs to perform any task. It's not a software that someone will need to get his job done. No. It is a software installed for the system itself to be able to operate. It is a software designed for the machine, not the user. An example of a system software is an operating system. An operating system is a system software. Whenever we say system software, we are talking about software needed by the machine itself to function properly and to create the usable environment for the end user. Because if there is no system software, the computer will not have the usable environment for you to use it. Think of it this way. For a computer to work, it needs a foundational program. That foundational program needs to be there, ready, before the apps can work. When we say application software, we are talking about apps. Have you ever heard apps before? Have you ever heard apps before? Apps are also software, but they are a second class software, or they are called application software. Apps are software programs needed by the user to perform their own task. So if you want to design, it is not the computer that wants to design. It is you want to design, so you need an application software called Photoshop or CorelDRAW. This CorelDRAW is not a system software, it's an application software because it is a software needed by the end user to perform a task. So think of it this way. The computer itself needs a program to function, or needs a software to function. You, the user, you also need a software to do whatever you want to do. If you want to watch a video, is it a computer that wants to watch a video? You want to watch a video, right? So you will have to use a program that you want to use. That program is called an application software or an app. Now you talk about examples of apps. Which app will you use to watch your video? VLC. Have you heard of VLC Media Player? VLC Media Player is on your system. This VLC, it is there for you to use whenever you feel like, because it's an application software. Microsoft Word, is it a system software or application software? Who can tell me? Microsoft Word, is it a system software or application software? Who said it? Okay, you tell me first. Why is it application software?
Because you the users use it.
Okay. So it is a software used by the user to perform your task. So any software that you need to do your work is called application software. So everyone should give me an example of an application software. Yes, Loretta. WhatsApp, okay. So WhatsApp is an app. It's an application software. Madam Marona. Facebook, okay, Facebook. You are not out of the range, but you've gone too far. But we'll still take it. Now, when I ask this question, I'm not really interested in mobile apps per se. Okay, so take your mind off mobile apps for a minute. You are not wrong, but let's not talk about mobile apps now. Okay, think of the computer on your desktop and tell me apps on your desktop computer. So just forget about mobile apps for now, but you are not wrong. Maybe it's Beacon. Is it a system software and application software? It's an application. Why is it an application software? Pardon? You'll be the one using it. Excellent. So any program that you will be using is an application software or an app. You can also call it application. You call it application software, you can call it app, you can call it application. So whenever they say mention an application, don't go and say Windows 10 because you are wrong. Windows 10 is an operating system. When they say application, you can mention, I don't want to mention what Madam wants to say. So Mary, mention one application software. Excellent. Excel is an excellent application software. Excel. Have you heard of Excel? Good. Caesar, mention one application software. CorelDRAW is most definitely an application software. So any software that you will need to perform your task is called an application software. Hello. So when we say system software, we are talking about software that the system itself uses to perform its tasks. Software that the system itself uses to perform its tasks. And when we talk about application software refers to software that the user needs to perform his or her tasks. Did you get a difference? Do you get a difference? Okay. Next time I'll give you a proper definition for you to write down. But this is a definition. System software is any software used by the system to be able to function properly. An example is the operating system. Examples of operating systems include Windows, MacOS, Linux, Android, and iOS. Examples of Windows include Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. Is that okay? Application software refers to any software needed by the end user to perform a task. Examples include Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, Photoshop, CorelDRAW, VLC, Mavis Beacon, and all the apps. Let's go to my desktop and let's check. Do you see all that we have here? They are all application software. We have Scratch, we have Telegram, we have 360 Total Security and antivirus. We have Coral Connect, we have CorelDRAW here, we have Firefox, we have Microsoft Edge, we have this screenshot, we have OBS Studio, SmartAv, Open Tools, Star UML, TeamViewer, Pot Player, Ice Cream Screen Recorder. That's what we saw here. Cool Edit Pro, Malwarebytes, Macmillan English Dictionary, Android Studio, Excel, Mavis Beacon, Anaconda Navigator, Microsoft SQL Server, Word, Microsoft Word, Visual Studio Code, PowerPoint, Opera browser, Zoom, Insider, Access, Photoshop, and a whole lot more. We didn't talk about this one here. What do you see here? So this is what I expected. Listen, this is what I expected you to say. Google what? Google Chrome. Google Chrome is an application. Alright. So without a software, your computer cannot do anything. So computers need software or programs to function. One interesting thing about computers is that you can give it any program you want and the computer will do what you want. Let me explain it this way. When it comes to electronics, most of the time, electronic devices perform one function. If you have a remote, it's an electronic device. It does one thing and only one thing. If you have a radio, radio is an electronic device. It does one thing and only that thing. Are you with me? If you have a PlayStation, have you seen a PlayStation before? Or Xbox? Have you seen an Xbox before? At first, these things were popular. Today, because of computers, they are not that popular, but they are still there. At first, people will go and buy a game with game pads, and they will connect it to their TV, and they'll be playing game, Mortal Kombat, and other games on it. So when you talk about PlayStation, it's a machine, the electronic device you buy with a gamepad and all it box and everything. You connect it to your TV and you play game on your TV with a gamepad. Okay, fine. Let's talk about microwave. Microwave is an electronic device that does one thing. Let's talk about washing machine. It's an electronic device that does one thing. When we talk about a computer is an electronic device that can do 1,000 things or 1 million things. All you need to do is to give it a program. If you give it a game program, the computer is a game. If you give it a hospital program, the computer can be used in the hospital to check human beings, the x-ray and the inside of people. If you give it a music program, the computer is a music player. Please, are you following? If you give it a TV program, the computer is a TV. You can watch TV on your computer. When you give it a bank program, the computer is a banking program, a banking system that can be used in the bank to check account balance and to issue payments. If you give it a designing program, the computer can be used to do designing. Every industry in the world, when I say industry, I mean every job in the world uses a computer. Every work in the world needs a computer. And they all have programs for their works. If you're an accountant, you use an accounting software. If you're in the bank, you use a banking software. If you're in the hospital, you use a medical software. If you're an engineer, you use engineering software. If you're a student, you can use student software. If you are whatever, you can use a whatever software. And what I'm trying to say is that all you need is the software. Once you give the computer the software it needs, it can become whatever you want it to become. So it is an electronic device that can do anything you want it to do. Just give it the program. If you want to use it to do chatting, you can use it. And this computer device here, if you connect it to the internet, you have given it unlimited power. It can browse the whole world for you, take you to any part of the world. If you want to see any part of the world live right now, the computer can do it for you. Just give it internet. The internet can show you any part of the world live right now. Please bring the phone. The computer can do what you have not even imagined to do. Please, are you with me? I'm giving it internet right now. I'm connecting it to the internet. Later we'll learn about internet connections and what it means and how to connect computers to the internet and what the computer can do. Now that I've connected it to the internet, I'm going to connect to a certain program. And this program is called what? Have you seen this program? Let me tell you, if the internet I've connected is stable, with this Google Earth, I can visit any part of the world right now as we are here. Do you see the earth here? We can visit any part of this earth right now with this computer. So we are trying to talk about what computers are. They are amazing. Let me tell you, when you buy a big TV, it's an electronic device that can do one thing. Just let you watch TV, that's all. Computer can let you do anything you want. See that it's loading. Please, have you seen this? This is a world though. This is a globe. I can turn it myself. Do you see this? I can visit the sea, any part of the sea. If you tell me there's an island anywhere, I can go there right now as we are talking. I can take you to any part of the world. This continent, we can visit this continent right now. This is Africa. Right now we are even in space. So this is Africa. Do you see Africa? On top of Africa, we have Europe here. America is here. This is America. Have you seen? North America, United States is here. South America is here. Brazil and Mexico, they are here. USA is here. Canada is here. Then we have Asia. So Russia is somewhere here. Middle East is here. Saudi Arabia, Israel, Iraq and Iran, they are all here. Then China and India are also here. This is Australia. See the way I'm turning the world around though. It's not a joke. Oh. You wait a minute. I'll go inside and it will shock you. This is Africa, right? Have you seen Africa? Should we visit Africa? Are you sure you want to see? Let's go in. I'm going to double click this area. Which countries are around this area? Okay. I'm going, you know. People. Have you seen Ghana map? We are getting close to Ghana. Let's go inside. See, it's not just you can go anywhere in the world. You wait a minute. Where do you want us to do? Should we go to Ho? Did you see Ho pop up somewhere here? Have you seen Ho? Should we go to Ho? Should we go to Ho?
Yes.
Okay, you wait a minute. We'll go to Ho right now for you to see. Very soon you start seeing houses. Don't worry, we are going down. We are in space. We are coming. Have you seen Ho Technical University? You wait, we are coming now. Very soon you start seeing people's houses. Very soon you start seeing houses. You wait. And let me tell you, we can visit the whole world. If you want to go to US, I can take you there right now. If there's a place in Accra I want to show, I can go and show you the house right now. If you want me to take you to South Africa to show you. Okay, so now we are in Ho. Let's come and look for anywhere we know. If you see anywhere you know in Ho, you let me know. Have you started seeing houses? Okay. Let's try and identify. Do you know St. Cecilia? Oh, really? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it in Ho?
Okay, Barras Road.
Barracks Road. Okay, so when we take this road, let's see where this is. This domain. Let's see. This is a Guinness area. Is that not Guinness? This Guinness, oh. This Guinness. Is that not the runabout? Oh, that's Winners Chapel, right?
Yes.
As for Winners Chapel, we all know Winners Chapel. So this is a road. Is it the road? Are you sure that's a road?
Yes.
Do you think they are lying?
No.
Is that not the Winners Chapel building? When you go like this, it's not barracks you are going to. So let's come here. When you pass here and you come here, that means we'll get to Dome very soon. Okay, so the White House, we are in the area. I just wanted to go through these houses for you to see. Is it big? Hey, it's serious, so it's here. That's the White House.